Hello, everyone, and welcome to Faithful to Race Across the World. We are here to discuss Race Across the World, Series 6, Episode 4. Where are we travelling to today? Turkey?
We've travelled through Turkey and now we've gone to Croatia. Am I correct?
No, Georgia.
Georgia, thank you. Croatia. Now I know. I said to you, I've always wanted to go to Georgia. It wasn't Georgia, it's Croatia. So I'll correct myself as something that never happened on camera.
I did say I've never heard you mention Georgia before.
You did. You said, that's weird. I've never heard you say that before. Croatia is where I've always wanted to go. We've obviously got Croatia on the brain. Don't they have similar flags? It's like blue. Oh, no, they don't have similar flags either because it's a red cross for Georgia. And Croatia is like a checkerboard.
Don't ask me about
blue
flags.
And red. I'm good at flags.
Don't ask me about geography on this podcast.
No.
Flags on this podcast. Travel on this podcast.
No. Getting ghibli tummy.
You can ask me about that. I'm an expert.
You get, well, yes, true. The number of times you've gone like, can I eat this? And I'm like, yeah, go on then. And then you eat it. All the regret Ben feels after.
Yes, well, we've got some staples from Race Across the World on this episode with a dodgy tummy.
Yep.
Some awkward
buses that they couldn't tell to the next day. People jumping from pole position to last place. I'm like, who saw that coming? We were complaining so much last episode.
Yeah, I know. You got your wish. Lots of people commented and they said, I agree with you. We're getting a bit bored of Kate and Harrison. And now look what happened.
We weren't, no, don't start
this.
We're not
bored of them being first all the time. People
we're not
commenting.
bored of Kate and Harrison. Kate and Harrison actually have some of the most interesting stories to tell. But, and also I want to talk about their homestay when they were farm labourers with Assad.
Okay.
Whew. Gosh.
Well, the whole episode...
I was hot.
This felt like a classic Race Across the World episode, this one. It felt like proper Race Across the World, this was, with all the hot men.
I have to say, I felt like it was stalling until this episode 4 came along, and then all of a sudden it was like... Because even the commentary...
I blame Katie and Harrison for ruining our episode 1, 2 and 3.
No, I blame the ones who went out last week. They clearly were holding everyone else down.
Yeah.
No, even when they were like doing the recaps, like halfway through the episodes, like this person's here and these are here and they were there. It felt like Race Across the World.
They were spread out.
It was exciting, and like everyone was very close, but not that close, and like people were doing bits and pieces, and there was tactics carrying on.
And you didn't know what was going to happen.
No, like Charlie right now. Charlie is our producer. He's a cat.
Producer Carly, right here on video if you want to see. He's there all the time.
And he always gets the zoomies around about this time when we record, and it's always during Race Across the World. So clearly our producer is a big fan of the show.
Well, we record this right after, so it's 9:00 at night, and all the bright lights are on. The cat's going.
Yes, I think that's what it is, isn't it? He still thinks it's daytime. He's like, morning. In a minute, he'll start meowing for his breakfast. Look, we haven't even introduced ourselves or told people how they can get in touch with us. My name is Alex.
My name is Ben. It's very important.
If you want to get in touch with us and let us know what you're thinking of this series of Race Across the World, or indeed anything that we cover on our podcast, because we do cover a lot of different things, you can find all that on
Interior Design Masters. We've started a new series.
Interior Design Masters. We're still covering... Oh, goodness. No,
that's it.
The Apprentice has ended.
Yes.
We may be covering something this weekend, a brand new show.
And we have our TV podcast
we talk
every
about
week.
like general television as well. And all that information is on our link tree, linktr.ee/faithful2. And on there you can find all the links to how you can watch or listen to us. If you are watching us, you can comment underneath the video on Spotify and YouTube. If you're listening to us on any of your favourite podcast apps, please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us, ring the bell, tell your friends about us. And if you want to help us monetarily, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, and on there you can give us a £5 one-off or monthly donation, just like
Jason has left a comment saying, I've been spoilt with your content lately. I'm finally watching Traitors New Zealand Series 2.
Oh yes, go back to our back catalogue. We've covered New Zealand, Canada, America, Australia.
Yeah.
You may not want to visit Australia.
Your Apprentice commentary was very entertaining. And I've also enjoyed Race Across the World, which is what we're listening to right now. Because of you, I watched the last civilian series and then got hooked. Thank you, BBC.
We're like a drug, aren't we?
We'll take a fee from everyone's licence fee. We have to pay ours, actually.
I've paid it,
actually.
Good. So don't bring that van to our house.
We'll get them on the podcast. I've got a soft spot.
Like a TV license investigator.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great podcast. We could talk to them about all the ins and outs of how you spot people and whether these like things that people say is like, oh, you can find out.
Can you imagine if we were like, we don't watch the BBC? And it's like, you have a podcast about 1 million BBC shows.
No, we don't pay the license fee.
Jason says he's got a soft spot for Joe and Kush, and I'm rooting for them to win. Your videos always cheer me up, and so as a thank you, enjoy this coffee.
Thank you very much. We certainly will.
We may tomorrow morning.
Yes, we may as well start with Joe and Kush then, because I want to talk about how they are starting with 10% less than everyone else
They
on this
are.
series. And yet somehow, by the end of this episode, they have got almost the exact same budget as Mark and Margo, who have now got only a couple of percentage points higher than they have. And
Just the wine.
And Cushion. Well, this is it. So Mark got sick. Margo decided to go
It's
out.
all about Cushion Joe, I thought.
I'm combining the two
fine.
together. Just
That's not allowed.
go with the
but fine.
flow. Go with the flow.
Stick with Cohen just first.
Mark
Cushion
and
Joe
Margo.
first. Yes.
Mark got sick. Margo went out and had the life of Riley. She was living her best life on wine and dumplings, right? Mark was in bed, rolling over, going, "I've got a ticky tummy, a TT," as he called it.
The producers stayed in his room and kept talking to him. The light was on. It was just like, when I saw that they were just filming him curled over, it's like, I just be like, please just go away now.
But yeah, but
Leave
Mark
me alone.
realised that he's still the star of the show. He needs to talk about his ticky tummy, his TT, and they did a zoom up of all the tablets they've given him, and I wonder if that was taken out of his budget.
Yeah.
His Gariston
Health insurance.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So what about Cushion Joe? Were you linking this to? Sorry.
Well, they're both.
Oh, they've got the
my
same
point
budget.
is that Cushion Joe actively made a point of trying to earn as much as they could. So they're on the bus. They made a friend. They did a homestay with them for free. Then they did another homestay. We have to talk about Kate and Harrison's homestays as well.
Well, that was the secret of this whole episode, I think. It was Homestay Week.
It was homestay week. Well, apart from Molly and Andrew, when Molly got bulldozed by Andrew's ambition.
Well, quite.
And then Molly was like, "Did you tell me to shush, Daddy?"
All the men are pushing themselves around because Mark's pushing himself around with Margo, Andrew's pushing him what he wants with Molly, and Harrison's trying to push his way around with Katie. So what's happening here? It's an epidemic.
Well, it's just men being men, isn't it?
God love them.
God loves them. But did you also, before they went off on their leg this time, obviously Kate and Harrison got the head start, and they knew they'd be going at midnight.
They
so
never
must
spend time with the others, do they?
They never do. So they knew they were going to bed. They had to go to bed a bit earlier so they could get up for midnight to then spend the leg. But then ended up going back to bed because there was no bus or transport links, which we wanted so badly. We said that in the last episode. We said Kate and Harrison get such an unfair advantage because they get to go in the morning all the time. Why can't they go at night?
Exactly. Look what happens. It happens once. Now they're last.
And now they're last, exactly.
So-
But they did have a lot of bad luck as well. Poor old Kate and Harrison. I feel like I'm going round and round in circles. Is there anything you like to talk
You're
about?
meant to be talking about Cushion Joe.
Go on, you tell me what you
No,
thought
you
of Cushion Joe.
to be talking about, not me.
Well, my point with Cushion Joe was
Yes,
that they were
they've got
building
the budget.
They didn't have
Okay,
the
well, I'm
budget.
gonna
They were
take it from
building
here.
up the budget, and they've obviously built up bits and pieces. So they made probably about £100 up, but it means that Mark and Margo must have spent a lot on this leg in order to be
wine.
equaled. But it wasn't though. It was £10 for the tapas.
Well, that's all that the cameras caught. We don't know what else.
Or do you think Margo went on a binge?
Yeah, when she left, she probably have a doggy bag of 3 bottles of wine, please.
They did make a record, if you notice, because obviously Mark and Margo also went out and had some cherry drink, and then Margo made some friends with like 3 young girls.
I know, 19.
Who all kept saying like, "You're never that age," and then they met Mark and was like, "You're never that age," and I feel like there was some kind of con going on here. Like they were going to try to sell them timeshares at some point.
Well, Margo does look young.
Margo is wonderful, and she's keeping the spirit alive. And I was a bit worried during this episode, or the last couple of episodes, that Mark kind of had taken over the kind of, not the power, but the
We're going this
excitement
way.
of doing the travelling. Because Mark was first of all the stick in the mud, the one who ate the melon with a knife and fork, and Margo is the one dancing on a ferry. And now Margo's the one who's kind of taking the back seat, and Mark's telling all the things they're meant to
I
be
feel
doing.
like Mark, at the beginning of this, it was a bit like, it was coming all on the verge of him being a bit selfish with he was picking where they're going all the time. And Margo on this one eventually just went, yep. And then afterwards she was like, I don't really know why I said yes, but I did. So I must want to do it. And it's like, no. So yeah, luckily he got sick. So that turned the tables.
But then Margo, got to have her own day out
Exactly,
for herself.
so everything happens for a reason.
It did crack me up as well. Margo was like, "I'm taking the money." There was no negotiation at all. Margo was like, "I don't feel too well, Margo. I don't think I'm going to be do much today. That's okay. I'm taking the money. I'm off to get her tapas
We did
and
both
wine."
gasp when the price came up of that meal that she had.
£10.
£10.
Did you saw how much food was on that
And
table?
drink,
There was
yes.
a whole bunch of grapes.
I know.
In the UK, a bunch of grapes is £10.
£10.
£10.
Gonna have to move to that area of
East
Turkey. East Turkey.
Well, I want to
'cause
move to East Turkey.
It's
Esad
green
is there.
and lush.
Esad
The
is
weather's
there.
nice. Esad is there.
Esad
All the
is
men
there.
are there.
I mean, there were a lot of
There was
good,
multiple men all episodes.
there were
which
good-looking
were
men
stealing
in
the
East
scenes.
Turkey.
Joe and Kush managed to keep their budget under control.
Oh, we're going to talk about Joe and
We
Kush
are.
now. Okay.
by on the bus. It was the revelation when the man who worked on the bus was like, "Just come stay with me. It's an expensive place. Come home." And he met their dad. Come home. Met their dad. They had a lovely meal.
It felt a bit, I don't know,
homoerotic.
It did feel a bit homoerotic. I felt
Don't
like
want to be inappropriate, but that's what it did look like.
it did look a bit, didn't it? Not that I've seen many of those films.
But in the end, it was wholesome.
It was wholesome. They were dipping eggs with bread and eating yogurt.
But at the end of the episode, Chris and Joe, they did this really good leg where they saved loads of money. They worked. They got free board, free food multiple times. And then they cut to them in a taxi and it's like £90.
And their taxi was more expensive than Mark and Margo. I feel like Mark and Margo negotiated better. You said they didn't have as far to travel, but I'm sure they both started over the border. So I feel like Chris and Joe could have done a better job.
They didn't need to do that taxi, though, is my thing. Like, they already had a low budget, and then it's like, well, they've just wasted it all. And they were really pleased with themselves. They're like, we saved so much money this leg. It's so good. It's like, but you've just lost it again. Yeah, they've only got 40% left, I think.
I'm really interested to know what the others... I know what Mark and Margo's budget was, because at the end, before they got to the hotel, it came up 42%.
Like 40, yeah,
so
42.
theirs is 42. Chris and Joe's is 40. Katie and Harrison, we know... Harrison's got book smart, as in like bookkeeping smarts, and he's making sure that his budget is very healthy. Molly and Andrew's this mystery for me because they took a different route.
They did, and they're a bit of a mystery because you don't really know what they're going to do, apart from Andrew, who always wants to climb a mountain.
Andrew, if there's a mountain to be climbed, Andrew's there to climb it. And Molly's always like, oh, what time? It's 6 a.m. Do I have to do this?
I've been saying this for weeks now, but like I do sympathise for Molly. She seems to be having, it's a bit of the way Mark is with Margo. He's kind of saying, I want to do this, and this is what we're doing. And she's sort of dragged up Mount Olympus, dragged up here, and then he's giving like a lecture, like
they're
he's
very
a
submissive,
teacher.
aren't they? Molly and Margo. Molly and Margo. They're very submissive, and they kind of
like
give in.
Beaten down. I mean, we're on 20 days now. This is the leg where it's most difficult, I think, because it goes past the 14 days. You know, when you're on holiday for 14 days, 14 days is
2 weeks
too
is
long.
enough to be with someone who you think you're close to, and then you realise you're not so close, because by the time you get on the plane home, you're like having silly arguments over the jelly babies.
So this is like the difficult time of Race Across the World. I think once you break that barrier and go to the next leg, you kind of get into the rhythm of, I'm doing this all the time now. Like a lot of people were sick and tired on this episode, and Molly felt that the most. I think she was really flagging, and her dad was just doing her head in, and she couldn't take it any longer.
She couldn't take
when
it.
he
did shush her, to be fair, which is incredibly rude. Like, you don't shush someone, or at least if you do that, you should apologise for it, because to shush someone, they're not a child. And I know Andrew kept saying it's
his child, but yeah,
but she's not a young child. I'll correct myself.
Exactly.
I apologise.
She's a professional. She's a professional.
She's a graduate doctor, isn't she? It's not a trainee doctor. What do they call them?
Junior doctor.
Junior doctor.
I don't know.
No, she is. I'm telling you, she's a junior doctor.
Good.
So she's super smart, and she's got herself an incredible career.
Well, she showed
her
him.
dad told her to shush.
Yeah, and then when they're on the bus, she was like, "Actually, I am going to take control after my night's sleep." And her way was better, and they came third.
They did. So they took the vital decision.
Because they were really behind.
They were really behind, but they took the vital decision to get off the bus one stop before the one that they had the ticket for, because they spoke to the bus driver. So clearly, I guess on buses there's a spare bus driver. I think they do that in the UK as well, just in case like the bus driver gets sick, so something should happen, so they can just carry on the route without too much delay.
Swap over shifts.
And they gave Molly the really good advice that this next bus terminal would have more links, in fact, direct links to where you need to go, to the checkpoint. So although Andrew did still have the doubt, he said, well, I'll trust you on this one. But if you're wrong, then I will make sure you know about it for the rest of the week.
So, yeah.
But also, to go back on your point about them kind of like, their friendship, their connections are starting to unravel a little bit because they've been together for such a long time. Do you also think that when in the third episode, the third leg, where they all have a goal that they have to get to the checkpoint as quickly as possible because there's elimination. They all have a common purpose, and then it's that common purpose, although it's still a race,
takes
that
out
common
of them.
purpose it's not only taken out of them, but then that's kind of been taken away from them, and then they can slow down again, and with that relief to slow down, but also the competition in their mind. You know what I mean? It's like the competition goes slightly to the back of their heads now. And Katie's a good point with this. Like, Katie's always telling Harrison, like, you know, we need to remember this is meant to be an experience. Molly's the same. I want to have a crack. You know, I'm having a crack.
She ain't a loud one.
But she says, I want to go out. I want to get... I cannot wait for Molly's night out with Andrew, though. That will be outstanding.
I think what Margo and Molly need to team up and just put Mark and Andrew together. They need to do a team
just do a
swap.
team swap. Mark and,
Just for one leg.
Mark and Andrew were having a
have a
lovely
break.
time on the bow of that boat, weren't they? They're having a little
Exactly.
chat. Like, Kush, Joe, Margo, and Molly were all stood there kind of chatting about, oh, how well are you doing? Are you doing well? Are you enjoying it? Mark and Andrew.
Yeah. Sat on the front, tops off, chatting away.
I'm going to buy a hat. I'm telling you, wedding bells are coming. Mark and Andrew, BFFs for life.
Katie and Harrison. Harrison went out of his comfort zone with another homestead.
Well, his first homestead.
I know. He was really against the homestead.
It's sad.
But it went so well that he then was like, let's do more and more and more and more. So he did millions of them afterwards. But
he did sit uncomfortable when the guy was singing to him.
I mean, I'm the same as Harrison. I was like, the thing that go in my head, I'm like, yeah, that he's saying what I'm thinking. It's Homestead does seem awkward.
But it is awkward because you're basically, although
especially
it's
with a camera there, and like you're meant to be like, this is a magical race across the world moment, and it's like
he's showing you pictures of Tesco Express.
I know that's fine,
Tesco
but then
Express.
the singing was what pushed it over awkwardness for me.
Yes.
And like Harrison just clapped, and then Katie was clapping, and it's like, well, when do you stop clapping? And then he keeps singing.
But the family, they weren't technically staying with the family in their family home, because that would be super awkward. Like what Kush and Joe was with that dad, father, and...
Well, they had football to talk about.
No, Kush and Joe weren't talking about football with the first home.
No, weren't they?
That was the second one.
Okay.
But they were staying in their home. So it's like super awkward. Imagine if like in the middle of the night you need to go to the toilet and like the grandma's just sat there on a chair and like the pitch black in a corridor. That would be frightening. That's like horror film status. But Katie and Harrison were able to sit and sleep and live in a tree house.
That's true.
So they were out the way a little bit, and all they had to ordeal was they had a delicious dinner with sleeping chickens, and then they had to see pictures of Tesco Express that the guy had visited recently in England, and then sung to. I think Harrison got the better deal, and as you said, Harrison then it was his first time. He was virgin no more, and he was like, I loved it. I need to do more.
I do feel
I want
like
to see a Sainsbury's local next.
this was all really good. It's good for Harrison to do this and to allow, you know, Katie's ideas. And he's like, yeah, well, I'll allow it. He's let loose. But the trouble is, he's now come fourth and they're like 20 hours behind.
That's the problem.
I feel like this new Harrison's going to be completely broken. And Katie's going to suggest something now for the rest of the series, and he's not going to allow it because he was very disappointed that he was fourth. But there's no point being first until the final now.
You are right. Katie's going to have to now prove to Harrison
He
that
won't
they
let
can
her.
still. Yeah, Harrison's going to take the reins again. He's steering. He was steering the ship at the beginning. Katie slowly weakened him bit by bit by bit by bit. Harrison allowed it to
See how
happen,
much fun it is.
and then he got knocked from first. And Harrison was fine when he was still in first place. And even when they were at the book and they were signing their names in, Katie was like, "Oh well, I'm really happy for everyone else." And Harrison was like, "I'm not."
No,
and
no.
slammed
And
the
he
pen
meant
down,
that.
and he meant
Yeah.
every word of it. Yeah,
It's like going to uni. In the first year, he was top marks.
yeah.
Second year, he let himself go, and
He
now
went on
he's
one
failed.
night out
all
to
it
jumping
takes.
jacks,
all
and
it
he was
takes.
done.
One night out. So I don't think he's going to be very wound up tight from now on. I don't know if Katie's... Yeah. All the girls, Katie, Molly and Margo, really have an uphill struggle for the rest of the series.
It's funny, isn't it, if you think about it, because it is the men are really headstrong.
But also a bit selfish-ish.
They're kind of doing it. But the Marks are the one that surprises me the most. Because I was really worried that he was going to be so miserable throughout the whole process.
Well, if he got his way all the time, of course he's going to be happy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's his way, so he's perfectly fine. What if next leg, Margo needs to take control? But yeah, they did well. They came first, Mark
Yes,
and Margo.
they did.
So I'm pleased with that.
But again, first and second, Kush and Joe, Mark and Margo have the two lowest budget. So they're really spending to get themselves up a place. And, is it really worth it to be 10 hours ahead? That's not a huge lead. Where
Especially
Katie
when
and
they're
Harrison,
leaving at midnight and 1 a.m.
But they arrived at midnight. So isn't it 36 hours after they've arrived?
is it? Oh.
Something like that. So they'll be leaving then at about midday. So that's okay. They'll
Sounds
get
like
away
maths.
with that one. That's the kind of maths that Harrison would enjoy.
And I don't. So.
But that's another thing. Like, do you deliberately kind of just keep yourself pulled back a little bit? Because
I would.
Look at Casey and Harrison. They ended up losing their 8-hour lead because they had to stay somewhere overnight. Kate and Harrison had the bad luck. They also got to the bus station. There was no bus. They had to wait another day. So if they hadn't had to wait that extra day, they would actually, that 19 hours would have actually been a 6-7 hour lead over Mark and Margo. So they would have still kept that lead. So they just had a bit of bad luck. But
That's all it takes.
But Molly and Andrew also went backwards to go forwards and still were ahead of Katie and Harrison. So there was some poor decisions made in Kate and Harrison.
Pooja and Roshni could only dream of doing that.
Pooja and Roshni were watching from afar crying.
I was seeing online that some people were saying that like they're wondering if this format's getting a bit stale and what you could do to change the show up to make it a bit exciting again. And you know how everyone's upset that there's a contestant eliminated all the time? We had loads of comments saying they're really upset that they were eliminated. We were upset. We just don't like it.
Roshni, yeah.
How do you think it would work if the contestants think that Pooja and Roshni have been eliminated?
But they're carrying on the race.
But they're like, if you come first in the next leg, you carry on. If you don't, you're out. So they could get to the hotel and they open the book and they'll see Pooja and Roshni's name there. First place means they're back in.
That would be kind of
That'd
exciting.
Be quite fun.
But do you know what I'd do? Make it even more exciting and even more mean. Because I like being mean.
Oh,
even
no, don't say the people in last get eliminated.
And they get eliminated instead.
No. We'll be saying goodbye to Kate and Harrison if that was the case.
It would have made for interesting television.
I was thinking that when
Harrison would have gone off on one.
I can't remember who it was. Someone, I think when Mark said, "Oh, take the money," and in my head I was like, "Oh, they're setting up that Margo's going to lose the money." In my head I was like, "What happens if a contestant does go out now? They could bring back Pooja and Roshni and replace them," and then my mind spiraled to that. But
bring your mind back to the very, very first series and remember that couple. And
that was really early, though.
It was the second leg, so they'd already done one leg.
Yeah,
and then they had to go back for a family emergency, so they introduced the couple to then.
They did really well.
Start from London, and so they had to catch up 2 legs in one go, and they did do very well.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the couple when the man lost his, and they were going for a divorce, and he lost the money, and then it all went downhill. That was like episode 2.
That was terrible. Yes,
yeah, that was bad. But they left.
Yes,
but that was quite early. But it was like, I wonder if they could do that as a little twist for the people who eliminated.
That's
like
quite
you have
fun
a chance to come back because it's not that difficult.
But I don't think they'd want to carry on with 5 couples. That's what I'm saying. So they'd have to eliminate someone at the end again at some point.
No. Just keep everyone
Or
in.
just start with 4 couples. Say that one, just say, because of a format change, there's now 4 couples who start. Like the celebrity version, they don't have elimination, but then keep the elimination, but then they get the chance to stay in. But no, actually, that sounds fun. I like that. That's a fun idea.
I want people to get in touch with us what twists they'd like to see. Because this show's never really done a twist. It's not really a twisty type of show. But like, what do you think you would see just to revamp the format?
I would argue that this show lives and dies on the couples.
And they're always good.
And they're always good. They do cast it very, very well.
Studio
but
Lambert.
Some years do cast more strong than others, I have to say.
Such as?
Well, last year, you know my favourites. They were amazing.
Yes.
I don't want to say too many people. I don't want to say...
I know, I'm trying to make you get cancelled.
But there is always like... series where
we need an all-stars.
Do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say this, and I don't think this will cancel me, but like, let's be honest, the Canadian series was a weak series.
Apart from the winners. I love them.
Oh no, I'm not saying the people were weak. It's just because of the scenario situation.
Everyone
doesn't. COVID.
Yeah, everyone doesn't count that series.
And yeah, it was a difficult series to make, and they shouldn't really have. I think they would have been better off not bothering had made it. And I do think maybe the example then is not what I just said, which is although it is the couples that make or break the show, but I think it's also the travel and the story. And maybe we've done this before. They've kind of done Europe and Uzbekistan before, and that's why people are feeling like it's a bit of a tired format. Because they did North and South America.
There's only so many places in the world, though.
Last year's was an excellent location as well, wasn't it? It was like East Asia.
Yeah, but they skipped
India.
over loads of Japan and stuff, didn't they?
No, it wasn't Japan. They had to fly over China.
Yeah, but they skipped over loads of really cool places. So,
as our matey would say.
Well, let us know if you have any ideas for twists. Not ridiculous twists, just
I know.
normal twists.
It doesn't
I'm talking
matter.
to the audience.
Yeah, and I'm saying to the audience, doesn't matter.
It does.
Make it ridiculous if you want to. Don't
like
listen
Katie
to that
Price
stick in the
turns
mud.
up and you can buy a ticket. I've got some budget here, celebrity budget.
If you spend £500 of your budget, you get a flight ticket.
Yeah, that'd be stupid.
That'd be like the Traitors Australia when they have to go halfway up the hill and choose whether they want a glass of water.
Quite.
So if you have any ideas for how you'd like to change the format entirely, or just a twist for the race across the world, then do get in touch with us. Also get in touch with us and let us know how you feel about the teams, how you think everyone's getting on. Do you think Kush and Joe are going to be able to carry on with their budget?
No.
Ben says no. What do you think? Get in touch with us. Linktree, linktr.ee/faithful2. And it's got all the links to how you can get in touch with us on social media, but also watch or listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, any of your favorite podcast apps. And as I've already mentioned, you can comment underneath the videos on Spotify and on YouTube. But or you can, as I say, get in touch with either commenting on any of our videos or just getting in touch with us with a DM. And if you like the podcast and you want to help us out monetarily, you're going to buymeacoffee.com/faithful. And on there, you give us a £5 one-off or monthly donation, which helps the show grow.
It does. Right, so we'll see you all again next week for more travel tips. Until then, stay safe. See it, say it, sort it. Goodbye.